Hi there, everybody. I'm WTOL 11 Chief Meteorologist Chris Vickers. So glad to have you along. We're going to be streaming live on some of our various platforms here to give you the latest on what to expect with Tuesday's alert day. A couple things to get through with this. We appreciate you being with us. We appreciate you joining us as we break down the heat that's going to be quite extreme across the area, but the humidity and the dew points, and maybe a little bit of a deeper scientific explanation, so to speak, of why we may be feeling the dog days of summer and some of this August heat. So great to connect with you. Great to be along with you on this Monday night. Once again, I'm WTOL 11 Chief Meteorologist Chris Vickers. We are going to be answering and hopefully giving you the information into what to be prepared and how to be prepared for some of the upcoming heat. So yes, we do have an alert day that's in effect. This alert day that is in effect is going to be for the extreme heat on Tuesday. We've been very specific and tried to be as precise as we could be about what to expect with the worst of the heat. And we expect that will be Tuesday afternoon and evening with highs that will reach into the mid-90s, and that muggier feel that feels like may top 100 to as warm as 105 into the afternoon. Now, if you're thinking, will this fire a few scattered storms? There is a chance late Tuesday and into Wednesday, although I'm not all that optimistic that this is going to be a significant or major chance. So what are we dealing with first? Areas over 90 degrees. We're going to feel it sweep really across the eastern half of the country, not only here locally, but across parts of the Midwest, Great Lakes, and down into the southeast. Going to be feeling some of the bigger heat. So we're just a bit after 7 o'clock as we're actually coming to you live on some of our various streaming platforms. Upper 80s to near 90 degrees is where we currently are. Many areas have felt the heat that has been building through the course of the day, right around that 90-degree mark, even at this point in the evening. And we do have excessive heat advisories that are in place. This is now for all counties in northwest Ohio and southern Michigan. Now, you may be thinking, all right, it's August. It gets hot. Yes, we get that. And we expect we're going to be just short of record highs. The thing that is unusual about it, though, is that this is the time of the year that fall sports are back in session. Those fall sports do conclude some extraneous outdoor activities like football and cross country. So if there are practices, there are meets, there are games, there are scrimmages, you need to be extra alert and extra cautious about the signs of dehydration, heat stroke, and heat exhaustion. Want you to be careful, want you to be prepared. Dew points have been climbing steadily, now in the mid to upper 60s, so yes, it is feeling more humid, but that is not uncommon for this time of the year. So let's widen this picture out. Let's talk about that. Dew points really are pooling across parts of the Midwest, Great Lakes. We call this the Corn Belt region for a purpose in a region. This is the heartland of where we grow a lot of our corn. Now, how about this? Could that corn actually be influencing how humid it is? You better believe it. It absolutely is being a factor. We call this corn sweat. Let that sink in for just a moment. Corn sweat is actually occurring right now across parts of the Midwest, Great Lakes, right over the Corn Belt region, and our map and our hour-by-hour forecast is precisely picking up on that. And here it is. Watch that corn sweat. So what's occurring right now is our mature corn crops. They're actually sucking up moisture in the ground with the root system. And through the leaves, through the process of evapotranspiration, actually releasing that moisture in that atmosphere into our environment and increasing significantly so the amount of humidity that we're feeling. Corn sweat, maybe a term that you've learned today. It is going to stick around. It's going to be quite humid through Tuesday, muggy conditions Tuesday, even into Wednesday, and that could fire some additional storms that will be possible on Wednesday. And I expect much of the week it is going to be humid as we still see humidity levels that will stay quite high. So why so humid? There's that term, corn sweat. And here's some facts for you. Did you know that 1 acre of corn can actually release about 3,000 gallons of water per day? 1 acre, 3,000 gallons. Think of how much farm field surrounds our area, how many acres of corn we have, and how much water is getting pushed into the atmosphere and released into the atmosphere as the root system of that mature corn crop draws it up from the ground and releases it into the atmosphere. That technical term is called evapotranspiration. Part of the reason why we're calling for such high levels of humidity as we go into Tuesday. So where do we see the greatest risk? Back into some of the more scientific data as well. Well, that heat risk hotspot map does show, all things considered, a level 3 out of 4 or a major heat wave or heat risk associated with this into northwest Ohio and southern Michigan. Some of the more extreme values, highest on the list is going to be closer to the Mississippi River Valley, into eastern Iowa, western Illinois, and southwestern parts of Wisconsin. That is an extreme heat wave where they may be topping 100 degrees, with it feels like 105 to 110. So we talk about this frequently, heat index. What is it? What does it mean? And more importantly, why does it even matter? So, simply put, when the temperature increases and the dew point increases, the feels like, the combination of the heat and humidity makes a factor known as a heat index or a heat index value, where we would see a representation of what it would actually feel like due to the combination of the heat and humidity. Now, what we're expecting is we're going to be close to 95 degrees as we go into Tuesday. The dew point's going to be closer to about 70 degrees, which will put our feels like right around 100 to 105 across the area. So bottom line is it is going to be a hot one as we go into Tuesday. So let's put that hour-by-hour forecast into motion. Tuesday morning, it is still going to be very muggy first thing in the morning. By the afternoon, it's a good chance that we're going to be eclipsing 100 degrees for that heat index across a good part of the area, especially Toledo, Bowling Green, and west. Now, some areas along and east of I-75, you could be closer to about 98 to 100 degrees. So may not quite make it to 100 degrees across the eastern edge of our viewing area. But either way, it is going to be a very hot day. Heat advisories in effect for the entire area. Now, on a Wednesday, if we get some clouds, a chance of at least a few showers and storms, it may not be quite as hot on Wednesday. And we're going to be banking on this. It's still going to feel like the low to even mid-90s, but that is typical August heat for this time of the year. So we're hopeful Wednesday into Thursday is when we begin to break things down. One of our biggest concerns is going to be after-school practices as we reach into the mid-90s. That feels like 100 to 105. And while we're likely to stay dry much of the day, extra hydration is going to be absolutely necessary. And we're going to be very close to that threshold where many of the OSHA rules would require the heat index to allow practices to be canceled or postponed, or any games to be postponed to a later date. So that is going to be up to local districts and school administration to make that call on what we're expecting. But here's what we're anticipating: low to mid 90s through the afternoon. There will be a little bit of a breeze, but it will be very muggy and humid. That heat index likely to exceed 100 degrees between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. You can count on that heat index likely being over 100 degrees. So what to expect with the summer heat? Tuesday is our alert day. That impact is going to be for that feels like that may reach 100, to 105 degrees. And what you need to know at this point: hydration. Take extra breaks, and you're going to want to seek some shade and shelter. So the hour-by-hour forecast, as I've been talking quite a bit here. We're hopeful we get a chance of a few showers and storms late Tuesday into Wednesday. I don't expect it's going to be anything all that widespread, but it may bring some cloud cover and at least reverse the breeze a little bit into Wednesday, which could bring us some of that much-needed relief from some of that heat and from some of the humidity. So Tuesday, right around the mid-90s, the afternoon is just going to be sweltering with the heat and humidity. That feels like it's going to push toward triple-digit readings. So a hot and humid day. Very likely much of the day Tuesday is expected to be dry. We have that alert day out there for Tuesday with that chance of storms that would be possible into the afternoon. Really, it's going to be an isolated threat at most. I expect many areas likely will be dry as we go into Tuesday afternoon. Maybe more so Tuesday night into Wednesday that we get the better chance of some storms, and we desperately do need that rainfall. Right on the mid-90s on Tuesday, but that heat index is going to top 100 degrees. Still into the 90s on Wednesday with a few scattered storms, and then one more day in that 10-day forecast. It's hot and humid. It will spike again on Friday. We'll turn cooler, though, on the other side of a cold front into the weekend. There it is, your holiday weekend. We're going to be falling back into upper 70s and lower 80s Sunday and into Monday. So a cooler trend as we do eventually go into Labor Day weekend that will take us back toward more typical September feeling weather, upper 70s and lower 80s that will be possible as we go into next week. So bottom line, want you to be safe, want you to be prepared for this because we are expecting heat and an alert day Tuesday that is going to bring us some really muggy, really sticky, really steamy weather with that feels like of 100 to 105. We've got excessive heat advisories that are in effect for the entire area. That will go through Tuesday evening, and we expect it's going to feel like one of the warmest days of the entire summer season. So the WTOL 11 weather team is going to keep you informed. We're going to keep you prepared. If you don't have it already, download that WTOL 11 weather app. We'll be sending you updates through the course of the night tonight and again into Tuesday. And many of us desperately looking for some rain. Very little chances of rain out there over the next 24 to 48 hours, but I'll be a little more optimistic Tuesday night and into Wednesday that we could get some rain chances. So we'll leave you with this, our alert day on Tuesday, what to expect and what you need to know. That feels like of 100 to 105. We appreciate you trusting the WTOL 11 weather team as we get you through some of this extreme heat. Make sure you practice that extra hydration. Seek shade when you need, air conditioning if you're able, and avoid the peak afternoon times of about 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. in particular after school. Some of the sporting activities may be ongoing outdoors. Do want you to be safe when that heat does increase. Once again, this is Chief Meteorologist Chris Vickers with WTOL 11, keeping you ahead of this Alert Day Tuesday, and we'll see you live on WTOL 11 as we continue to cover the heat that will persist into late August. Take care.